Two little girls crossed the misty wooden bridge of Red Willow at dawn, their breath curling like smoke in the cold. Beside them padded Marlowe, their old German shepherd, his muzzle silvered, his steps uneven but sure. Then he froze, a low growl, ears locked forward, and through the swirling fog came a sound that didn't belong to morning, muffled, desperate, human. Down on the rails lay two officers, bound hand and foot. The steel trembling beneath an approaching train. What happened next wasn't just a rescue. It was the moment a forgotten town remembered what courage looked like and how small hands can tip the scales between life and loss. Before we begin, tell us who would you trust to walk into danger for you? Comment their name below. And if you believe miracles still walk this world on four paws, hit subscribe. This story might just remind you. Sometimes God sends angels wrapped in fur. The mountain town of Red Willow, Colorado, wore its mornings wrapped in mist. When dawn broke, the air carried the smell of wet pine, old wood, and smoke from chimneys. Hazel Whitaker and her twin sister Fern hurried across the creaking wooden bridge, holding their matching backpacks tight. At 8 years old, they looked alike but were different to those who knew them. Hazel's honey-colored hair was in a ponytail, her gray sweater a bit big, sleeves pushed up, ready for action. She was practical and observant. Fern's hair fell loose, brushed gently to one side, her sweater buttoned neatly. She was softer and more thoughtful. Marlowe, their 6-year-old German shepherd, walked beside them with a limp from an old injury but bright, alert eyes. Evelyn, their mother, said Marlowe had ears that heard things others didn't, which morning seemed prophetic. Halfway across, Marlowe stopped, stiffened, ears raised against the silence. Hazel pulled his leash, urging him on. They were late for the bus. Marlowe growled low, turned toward the tracks below, where a muffled, urgent sound broke the silence. The twins leaned over the railing, the fog swirling like ghosts. They saw two figures, adults, tied hand and foot, mouths sealed with silver tape, stretched across the rails as if left for a train. The first was a man, tall, broad-shouldered, uniform torn, bearing the Red Willow police patch. Dirt streaked his square face, sweat and blood matted his short brown hair. His storm-gray eyes locked onto Hazel. This was Officer Rowan Pike, 35, strong but bound by ropes cutting deep. Beside him lay a thin, strong woman with red braided hair, fierce green eyes dulled but darting with warning. This was Deputy Tessa Brangan, 32, known for persistence but now silenced and trapped. Frozen at first, the twins then moved. Hazel fumbled for her mother's cell phone, dialing 911 with shaking hands. Two officers on the tracks. Please hurry, she said. Fern spotted a dark bag near Rowan with a seatbelt cutter inside, a small rescue tool with a sharp blade. Whispering, she urged Marlowe to help. The dog bit at the tape binding Rowan's face until it tore. Rowan gasped, urging Hazel and Fern to cut Tessa free. Together, trembling, they sliced the tape. Tessa tore the tape from her mouth, coughing. The train approached, fog glowing orange. Rowan fought his bonds, Marlowe snarled, tugging at rope. Fern cut the final knot, Rowan pushed sideways, grabbing Tessa's shoulder. The children scrambled back as Marlowe circled, gathering them like a protective flock. They tumbled off the rails as the freight train thundered past, blasting its horn and shaking the ground. Silence followed. Rowan protected the children, Tessa lit an emergency flare, waving it high. Another train down the line slowed, warned by the signal. Hazel clung to Fern, tears running. Marlowe growled low, hair raised. Footsteps echoed from the forest edge, quick, retreating. The attackers had watched and fled. Rowan, aching and tied, said, "They're not gone for good." Tessa, flare in hand, said, "But they didn't count on these three." Marlowe barked sharply, settling beside the girls to guard them. At Red Willow Community Hospital, Rowan sat with bruised wrists, bandaged, exhaustion in his square jaw. Evelyn, pregnant and determined, entered with Hazel and Fern, pale but safe. Rowan recalled the attack, walking the railway with Tessa investigating broken signals, blindsided by assailants. His jaw exploded in pain, blackness before Marlowe's bark shattered it all. While the twins saw a social worker, Marlo found a glove stained with dark residue. Hazel noticed, but Marlo sniffed urgently. Tessa explained a report about stolen copper wires, more than theft, an attempt to silence them. Music teacher Cole Anders arrived, kind and quiet, recognized Hazel's strain. He fixed her violin's warped bridge and later arranged funding for her music, insisting she needed it more than sacrifice. Snow began falling as Rowan and Tessa filed reports and prepared a search warrant. Marlo led them to the scrapyard owned by Vera Lachlan, who skirted legality with vague records. Marlo found freshly cut copper wire and duct tape matching the attacker's brand. Vera feigned ignorance, but the evidence tied her to laundering stolen goods. Hazel practiced music with Cole. Evelyn worried over bills and pregnancy, refusing to let Hazel sell her violin, a precious gift. Rowan and Tessa followed Marlo to a ravine called Owl's Roost, a reputed hideout. They found sabotage tools and fresh boot prints, clear signs of ongoing crime. Rock suddenly rained from above. Marlo defended Hazel and Fern. Police called for surrender, but the Cutter brothers fled in a truck, license partially recorded. The twins clung to Marlo, shaken but safe. The officers vowed the next encounter would end differently. Rowan and Tessa planned a trap at Cabinet 4, planting a false rumor of a valuable midnight train to bait the Cutters. Evelyn had false labor pains. Cole helped the children calm with breathing exercises. Marlo stood watch faithfully. At midnight, Marlo detected movement at Cabinet 3, the wrong place. Police quietly shifted as the Cutters worked with bolt cutters. Floodlights snapped on, the Cutters fled toward their truck. A chase ensued, the Cutters cornered at the bridge by Rowan, Tessa, and Marlo. Zeke grabbed Hazel as a human shield, bolt cutter raised. Marlo snapped at his arm, dropping the weapon. Hazel dropped safely as Cole had taught. Harlan lunged at Fern, she threw a brass handbell, stunning him. Rowan pinned Harlan down. Tessa handcuffed Zeke, reading his rights. The evidence in the truck bed, copper wire, duct tape, knives, and invoices signed VL, exposed Vera's conspiracy. The town cheered the bravery of Hazel, Fern, Marlo, Rowan, and Tessa. Marlo received the title Honorary Protector of Red Willow from Dr. Leanne Carson. Evelyn's bakery reopened, supported by a fund Cole helped establish. Evelyn gave birth to a healthy boy, with Hazel, Fern, and Marlo nearby. Spring brought the school recital at the chapel. Hazel played violin confidently, Fern joined with harmonica, Marlo lay alert by their feet. The congregation was moved, the church bell tolled over the valley, symbolizing hope and triumph. Red Willow stood strong, united by courage, loyalty, and the quiet miracles of love and faith. God transforms fear into faith, turning challenges into blessings. If touched by this story, share hope with others. May God bless all faithful companions through every season of life.